Hello and welcome to Vital Signs. Today we're diving into a challenge every executive faces, but only a few will admit: the executive echo chamber. How do you get honest feedback when everyone around you just might be telling you what they think you want to hear? Joining me to unpack this is Maria Carpenter, the newly appointed executive head of Momentum Multiply. Maria brings a wealth of experience in leadership, strategy, and organizational culture, and she's here to share how leaders can make sure real insights reach the top before it's too late. Maria, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. So it must be really frustrating being in a position you're in and knowing that you're probably being told a lot of things that people think you want to hear. How do you deal with that?
Such a great question. Firstly, thank you. Thanks for including me and inviting me to the show. So Nikki, my own personal journey has given me some great insights into people and mostly insights into myself.
Right.
So with this comes a lot of awareness. So I question everything. In fact, this week I was told I'm excellent at asking questions. In fact, I should get a reward. So I always check with myself, where is this coming from? And I'm specifically asking questions around what are my programs related to the specific topic? And how is it creating a bias in me? So whatever I'm hearing, I'm filtering it based on my existing biases.
Right.
And so that's my own personal work. When it comes to a collective, so now I'm in a session and there are a whole lot of executives and we're discussing a topic that impacts the entire organization. Now, I'm going to start questioning as a collective, how have we come to this conclusion? And thanks to a lot of the work that I've done in digital, where I've built mobile apps, I have to ask people who are going to be using it or people who are using, what do you actually want? Is this meeting your desires and what you want this app to do? I do the same at work.
How do you make people feel safe, especially people who are very much junior, down the pecking order? How do you create an environment that makes them feel safe enough to put their opinions out there and not tell you what they think you want to hear, but actually give you the truth?
Yeah, it's an ongoing process. And I have to acknowledge that I don't always get it right. So how do I fix that? So so when I say I don't get it right, if you break trust once, that trust is broken. So how do you not break trust? It's always maintaining safety. But now I've broken trust. I might have snapped at somebody. I might have behaved I'm extremely stressed, I've got a tight deadline, and I didn't greet them the way I normally greet, and now they think that something's wrong. And they address it. And instead of sitting and, I love you, and I'm just really sorry. I'm really busy. And listen, I'm going to phone you. I'll phone you later. I'm going to speak to you. And I don't phone. I acknowledge. And I apologize because I know I have so many problems with my own life and mistakes. And if I weren't able to apologize, then I've broken trust forever. So my team expects apologies now because there's a humanness in how we relate to each other. So that safety, it needs to be an ongoing process that you focus on an ongoing basis. I want my team to be safe. And I also work quite a lot with intuition. I can sense when somebody's holding back.
Right.
And I'm not shy to admit that there is intuition that I'm employing.
Right.
And typically we're quite blessed with intuition as women, and I will use it. And sometimes they say I'm absolutely fine, and I try not to say I think you're lying.
Yeah.
Because that would also not help my trust.
Sure.
But you get to know your team. So I spend time with them, and I can feel this person seems to not be okay.
Right.
Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And that helps. Yeah.
So this is very unusual in a leadership role, especially at the level that you're operating in. How do you get your management team to come on the same bus as you? Because you come into an environment, a corporate environment, where perhaps previous leaders were not intuitive like you are. They didn't lead from a point of putting people first. How do you filter that down into management so that it goes further down the chain?
I'm very fortunate to have 6 brothers. And I'm the only girl. So that means when I express an idea, growing up, when I would express an idea or a thought, I learned very quickly that if I didn't make it analytical, they're actually mostly engineers.
Right.
If I wasn't analytical and concise with my ideas, I would be labeled. Eye roll, that's woo-woo. And that has stayed with me through my career. So when I have a thought or an idea, I will always try and base it on facts. I'm now in the medical industry, so it's, okay, let me try and find something that's factually based, that is related to what I know is the way I feel, and I know that this will work. So at work, the work that I do in helping my team get on the bus with me is focused on the nervous system. So I want to regulate our nervous system. And I also understand that as the leader, my nervous system is what everybody's calibrating to.
Right. Right.
And so we do some work. We've actually started introducing practices like TRE, so treming at the office. Recently introduced sound journey, so again using sound as a modality to regulate the nervous system. And there are a few team members who they're not rolling their eyes, but they're a bit anxious from these unusual modalities, but they are curious.
And that's all you need.
They're open to experiment and to try. And then I have other team members who just embrace it and they love it. And then their experience helps shape my other colleagues who were a bit nervous. And it's not Maria is demanding that we do these unusual modalities. Maria has asked us to attend, and we can see how excited she is and how she really wants us to love it. But I'll try and walk out and let them have a discussion without me and open themselves to this conversation around the parasympathetic nervous system and what is the impact of not having a regulated nervous system at work, and how do we influence the room.
Yeah.
And how does my programming, this is the second time I'm mentioning it now, but how does my programming influence my decision making?
Yeah.
And those are the conversations that I really enjoy having.
Yeah.
My colleagues might not all love these conversations, but they're open to them.
Yeah. So
I try and bring them in and always bringing it back to facts and science where necessary. And I am quite gentle with my approach, especially the higher up I go.
Yeah.
So when I'm managing up, very gentle and careful. When I'm managing down, actually I find that they're far more, they teach me.
Yes, yes, and I think being open to being always learning, always being open to not knowing everything, not having the answers, and that we're always a student is really, really valuable.
And we're all fallible.
We're all fallible.
Yeah.
Even right at the top, we're fallible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you bring that vulnerability into your leadership style, because it is I think in this day and age, it's really the only tool we have to get people on side and all work as a team.
Yeah.
I think it's so important.
And the more we connect with there's more that aligns us, there's more similarities than there are differences.
Yeah.
But we tend to focus on the differences.
Yes, we do. Maria, thank you so much for your time today. It has been a wonderful conversation. I'd love to speak to you again.
Thank you so much, Nikki, and I've loved being here.
Thank you. The executive echo chamber is a real risk, but with the strategies Maria shared today, leaders can break through it and help their organizations truly thrive. For everyone watching, the takeaway is simple. Seek feedback relentlessly, listen without judgment, and act decisively before the wheels fall off. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week right here on Vital Signs.